41-year-old hairdresser Kim Reed. Herbert claims he overpaid his child support. Kim is countersuing for attorney's fees.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 336 on the calendar in the matter of Biggert versus Reed. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Biggert, the defendant is your former wife, and it is your claim that since you've been divorced, separated, and under a child support order, you have overpaid some $3,500 in child support.
Yes.
You say that it was not an overpayment, the money was used for the children, and there was some sort of an agreement for him to pay you additional money. You have a counterclaim for $700 because you say he was ordered to pay $700 in attorney's fees for some sort of a custody proceeding the two of you were involved with, and he did not pay that amount. When were you divorced?
1988.
And you have two children?
Yes.
How old are they?
Howard is 18 and Sarah is 16.
And what was the child support order?
It was approximately $1,200 per month.
And during what period of time did you overpay?
I'm assuming it was over the whole period because when I received the paperwork from the court, it just said we did an investigation from the time you started paying child support until the end of August.
So over a 13-year period?
Yes.
And you can't definitively say over what period of time you made these overpayments?
No.
Should have kept better records. Was the overpayment agreed to be reimbursed by the defendant at any time in court?
I was not aware there was an overpayment until I received the paperwork from the court saying they had done an investigation into the child support.
Let me see the piece of paper you received. At the time you received this order, it indicates that $3,573.85 was overpaid over the course of 13 years.
Yes.
I'll hear you.
All the money that I got was spent on the kids.
Were you aware of the fact, Mrs. Reed, that you were being overpaid?
Not at the time, no, because the checks always fluctuated.
When did you become aware that you were receiving too much money?
About a month and a half ago when I got it through the mail.
And when did you become aware of the fact, sir, that you had overpaid child support?
When I received that notice in the mail from the
When
court.
did you remarry, Mrs. Reed?
May of this year.
Prior to that, both children lived with you?
Yes.
And did your former husband see the children regularly?
No.
Did you see the children?
At times, but not.
You have a reasonable relationship with your children?
Yes.
Do either of your children live with you now?
I have custody of my daughter.
And how old is she?
16.
Which she does not live with him.
Who does she live with?
My second ex-wife.
Do you pay child support to your second ex-wife?
I reimburse her for any expenses that she incurs for my daughter, or I pay the expenses directly.
Under what circumstances did your daughter leave your home?
I think it was because I finally got help raising the kids, and I think it was too structured and she didn't like it.
Do you work?
Oh, yes. I have a beauty salon.
Are you under a current child support order for your 16-year-old daughter?
No.
How come?
Well, probably when she went to live with her dad, it was all of a sudden, and I was told she was moving in with her father. 3 weeks later, I find she's living with her stepmother. So I was not very happy about that. And no one's ever requested child support from me. But as my income compared to his income, I don't think there would be much anyways.
I'm not so sure.
Well,
How many children do you have?
5.
How many children do you have?
2.
I guarantee you if somebody requested child support, you would pay it.
Oh, definitely.
What kind of income did you have at the time that the children were living with you?
It was about $11,000 a year. So it was like all I could do to keep us in the house that we bought together when we were married, but I wanted to keep the kids where they were raised.
I want to do a calculation for you, Mr. Biggert. Maybe it will make you feel better. Difference of $3,500 over the 13-year period. Do you know what that comes out to, Mr. Biggert? $22 a month.
Yes.
Or $5 a week. So nobody got rich on that difference. And quite frankly, I don't feel justified in saying to the defendant, who really didn't know that she had received an overpayment, now you have to come up with $3,500, unless you can tell me that you don't think that she spent that $5 a week, at least in part, on the children.
Well, I think, Your Honor, that she's probably spent more than that, and I spent more than that over that 13-year period myself.
Right. That's a good thing. Okay. You want to tell me about this counterclaim that you have?
Yes, I've got information that He was to pay for our son being custody changed last year. It was ordered that he pay me the amount of $900,
$900 for what?
the attorney fees for the custody.
What happened with that custody proceeding?
Well, actually, my son come back to live with us, with LG and I, and the 900 attorney fees, it says here, was to be paid to me to pay my lawyer. And so far, Herb's paid 200 of it, and said he would pay me, or if I paid the other 700, he would deduct it from the 3,500 that I owed, and he would only be suing me for the 2,800.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't feel that was correct.
What did you
When
feel
the
was
court
correct?
ordered, because I have a court order here stating that he's to pay it.
You have a court order that he was to pay $900 for your attorney, and he's got a court order that says that he's supposed to pay so much for child support. He overpaid you in child support. You want me to give more recognition to your order than to his?
No.
So why should he pay you a penny?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Herbert Biggert says ex-wife Kim Reed owes for the return of child support. Herbert claims he overpaid and Kim kept the money.
Go ahead.
This was supposed to be paid back in January, and it was not paid.
I
So
understand.
then-
Well, that's your counterclaim. He's what?
Your Honor, if I might, you said yourself we were talking about $5 a week over 13 years.
Right. But accumulates to $3,500.
Exactly.
Right.
This court order was basically after the fact as far as paying the attorney fees from a change of custody.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the countersuit.
When was the order?
January 9th, 2001.
Okay. No, he was still paying child support in January of 2001, sir.
Yes.
He was still overpaying child support in January of 2001.
But we didn't
I
know
understand
until
that.
now.
I understand that. But for you to suggest that I'm going, or anyone would order him to pay you $700 or $900 for your attorney's fees when you have collected $3,500 in excess of the child support award, even over 13 years, is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Especially, Ms. Reed, since, and I don't know all of the facts, but you have a 16-year-old for whom you are paying zero support.
Because I was never ordered yet.
If a man, Miss Reed, if a man said that to me in court, I don't have to pay child support because I was never ordered to pay it, I would wipe up the floor with them. You don't have to be ordered to pay support for a minor child. That's your obligation. That's your obligation as a parent.
But I do not have the funds that he has. And-
Doesn't make any
But if
difference.
my daughter needs something, I do go get her and
No,
take
no,
her and
no,
get
no,
her
no, 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 no,
things.
no, no, no. You don't have to have the same funds that he has. Child support obligations are supposed to be fair. And you have perhaps less funds than he does, and he has more obligations than you do. You have yourself and your husband, and he's got himself, and he has at least 4 children that he's supporting. One is
Yes.
emancipated, but he has 4 children for whom he pays support, including your daughter, who is no longer living with you. So you should be paying something to his ex-wife every month.
To his ex-wife, I would.
Well,
That's
then
where
you
she
should be,
lives.
and you don't have to wait for a court order to do that.
Well,
So
see, I
there-
never understood how all this went. When I had both my children, he paid me. When he had Howard, or one of my children, and I had the other, it just got cut in half, and I didn't have to pay for Howard. So I didn't understand that I really should have to pay for her. And knowing that, I have no problem. I just didn't
Well,
know.
just a minute. I mean, I just want you to think about this. Howard went to live with his father, so he paid you half of what he had been paying.
Right.
Why should he pay you anything?
I don't know
Why
how
should
the
he pay you
system
anything?
works.
Now, you have 1 child, he has 1 child, and you each support the 1 child that you have in your custody. You think it's sort of fair that his child support order was cut in half. To me, you have far fewer obligations. You have a working mate, and if 1 child is living with you and 1 child is living with him, then what you do is you each take care of the child that's living with you. We shouldn't have to pay you a penny. That's fair. I try to be a fair person. In any event, Mr. Biggert, while I am minorly sympathetic with your position, truth of the matter is, if you never got this piece of paper from child support enforcement, you would not have known that you had overpaid over the course of 13 years an additional $5 a week. Correct?
Yes.
You would have been able to sleep easier.
Yes.
Right? Not a big deal. On the other hand, because the money went for your kids. There's no question that if she had an extra $5 a week, she didn't go out and buy herself a sable coat. That be a fair statement?
Yes.
All right. On the other hand, it is the height of chutzpah. You know chutzpah?
I know it's.
to suggest that I'm going to give you any part of your counterclaim after you have been enriched over the course of 13 years, the amount of $3,500. So your counterclaim is dismissed, your lawsuit is dismissed. Go, be nice parents to your children, don't fight anymore, and try to be happy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. When the court determined that I had overpaid, and I thought it was fair to receive the money back.
I spent it on the children.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Aikman versus Ward. Step forward, please.
29-year-old store manager Christine Aikman is suing her ex-fiancé, 34-year-old auto mechanic James Ward, for the return of her belongings. James says she gave him the belongings in exchange for a car.
Ms. Aikman, how long did you and the defendant live together?
6 years.
When did you separate?
We actually separated shortly after Christmas of last year.
And according to your complaint, when he left, he took some property that was yours
Correct.
and that he owes you for some rent. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Ward says he doesn't owe you anything for rent and that the things that he took, it was a trade-off with a car that you had together. That you took the car and that was the agreement that he would be able to take certain property. All right, so I have a few questions. When you lived together for this 6-year period, how did you handle the finances, Ms. Aikman?
With his paychecks, he'd take care of rent, other little things. With mine, I'd take care of our cable, our lights, food, necessities.
And how much was the rent?
$5.95 plus gas.
And when you had to buy things for the house, how did you do that?
It would just depend on what money was where, what was left.
So tell me about these things that you say that he took that belonged to you. What did he take?
He took an antique bed that was given to me by my grandfather. My grandmother passed away. I was also given her...
Okay, so a bed that was a gift to you.
Right.
From your grandmother. Justice. Sure. Let's deal with one thing at a time, please. An antique bed that was a gift to you, not purchased, it was a gift to you. All right, Mr. Ward, let's deal with the bed. You took the bed.
All I have is a box spring and a frame, and it was given to both of us by her grandfather.
When you say
Her
a box...
mattress, I left the mattress.
I'm not talking about the mattress. The bed itself,
Just a steel frame and 2 box springs is all
Not
the
a
original
headboard?
bed.
It doesn't
Not
have a headboard?
No headboard, no nothing.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Give me a break. What kind of an antique frame? I never heard of an antique frame. I heard of an old frame, but I never heard of an antique frame.
She's had it forever.
Oh, Miss Aikman, give me a break. Move on. What's next?
All right. I also have a 27-inch color TV.
Now, where did the 27-inch color TV come from?
I purchased it with my tax refund about 4 years prior.
4 years ago while you were still together?
Yes.
While you were sharing your money?
Correct.
Okay. What's next?
There's also the antique, or the quilt that my grandmother handmade that I cannot replace.
Quilt. Where's the quilt?
It's not an antique, it's store-bought.
I don't care.
And she said I could have it with the bed, with everything else.
Okay, she wants her quilt back.
Okay.
You'll put it in a box and send it back to her. It came from her grandmother. What's next? One quilt. What's next?
And the color TV.
How many TVs did you have?
We had one that worked and one that didn't. He conveniently left the one that didn't.
What else did he leave?
Well, the bedroom set that was given to me, he actually left that.
Bedroom set?
Yes. Washer and dryer. He left me my kitchen.
Kitchen set?
Actually, he took the kitchen table and chairs, but he left me my dishes, my pots and pans. He did leave all that.
So far, what's the vision in my head is that what you get back is the quilt. What's next?
And the back owing in rent that he left when he left in the middle of the night on January 27th.
Now, had you paid January's rent, sir?
No, I haven't. I made arrangements with the landlord, gave him a 30-day notice. Because
When did you do that, sir?
January 1st.
Well, that's not 30 days notice if you left on the 27th.
I gave him the 3rd. I told him the 3rd of February.
Okay. And
I
so
moved out earlier.
Show me the proof that you paid January's rent, because that was your arrangement. You were going to pay the rent. She was paying.
I haven't paid it yet. I
Your Honor.
made arrangements with him. I needed the money to move into another place.
So you haven't paid it yet?
No, I haven't.
All right, so so you owe her. All right, now how much did you have to pay?
I had to pay $710, Your Honor.
Let me see. And what the rent was
here's the
shh.
lease.
But the rent was $5.95, is that right?
Plus gas.
And how much is the gas?
$73.57 plus $20 late fee.
Your Honor,
What?
there was a $250 deposit on those apartments
Okay.
that I should at least be entitled to discount half of that.
They were only going to give back $100 for cleaning since they left it trashed.
Who left it trashed?
They brought 3 kids in the apartment after I moved out, and when they vacated
How
on the 27th.
much was the security deposit that was left? Show
As
me.
far as what I know and what the landlord told me, there probably wasn't going to be much left.
Well, that you have to proceed with the company anyway. You know you owe her this money. You said you needed this money to move into a new apartment. You owe her the money because your responsibility was to pay the rent. She paid for all the other bills. You were there practically the entire month of January, so that was your responsibility.
Right.
The rent. Other than that,
I also paid the electric and the cable bills.
All right. Listen, after 6 years, don't bother me with nonsense, will you, please? Okay, you get your quilt back because that was an antique. Tell me about this car. When did you purchase it, sir?
In 1999, we got it financed.
And you both paid for that car?
Yes, we did.
Is that right? And you now have the car?
I do. Because I was the only one that was licensed and insured on that car.
Doesn't make any difference, but you both paid for it and you have the car.
Right. Okay. Because when I took my name off the leasing, they gave him 10 days to get a driver's license and insurance.
Your Honor, that's totally false.
I'm not listening. Did I look at you to speak?
No.
I was the only one insured.
I don't care. What I'm saying to you is, let's be fair about this. You had a car that you drove as a couple for 2 years.
Correct.
You each paid a portion of what it took to maintain that car and to pay it off to finance it.
Correct.
Is that right?
I'm still paying it off. Yes.
Well, that's fine, but during the time you were both paying for it.
Correct.
You now have the car. You're getting the benefit of some of his payments for the car. Is that right?
That's right.
So why should he give you the last month's rent?
Because I was kind enough to let him stay in the apartment, not kick him out when he didn't sign the lease. He hadn't signed the lease.
He hadn't signed the lease. What difference did it make whether he signed the lease or not? He was paying the rent. So my question to you is, for 2 years, you each contributed to the monthly payment on a car.
Correct.
And how many years do you have left to pay on the car?
November, I believe, of this year, it will be paid off.
Fine. So now you have a car to which he contributed over the course of 2 years. Is that right?
Correct.
So you get nothing for rent. Goodbye. Have a good life. Have a happy life. Have a safe trip home.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge underwriter Coney Cramblett for various unpaid loans. Coney says Rogers' lawsuit is bogus.
Come to order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 588 on the calendar in the matter of Dangler versus Cramblett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Dangler, you and the defendant, according to the complaint that I've read, lived together back in the late 90s and separated sometime in 2000.
That's correct.
And you claim during the course of the time that you and the defendant lived together that she borrowed money from you, approximately $4,000. The defendant sort of acknowledges that you loaned her money, but said that during the time that you lived together, she worked for you in your business without pay and worked it off. She has a counterclaim for some property that she left behind.
Correct.
Okay. Tell me what the loans were for, the exact amounts, when the loans were made.
Okay, we had verbal agreement on a lot of these items that I have here.
Let's go. I'm ready.
And part of them was for a lawn tractor that we purchased. There was a rebate.
Just a second. A lawn tractor that you purchased. When?
December 11th of 1998.
12/11/98. Now explain that to me. A lawn tractor that you purchased together?
Coney purchased it through the company she worked for, but it was actually my tractor that I traded in to purchase this, and we were entitled to a rebate of $1,125.
Yes.
Well, the rebate come in form of a check, and I never received the rebate back to myself. And it was myself that purchased the tractor.
Were you living together in 1998 when you purchased this tractor?
No, we were not.
But you moved in together after this tractor was purchased.
That's correct.
And then you lived together for 2.5 years afterwards.
Oh, approximately 6 months we lived together. but we were together in a relationship for about 2.5 years.
You want to give me your quick explanation, make it very fast, Ms. Graham.
The rebate check was to go to me. For me working at John Deere and purchasing this tractor, we received like a 25% discount, which he received on the tractor. And in turn, there was no, basically, verbal agreement that he would get the monies as far as the rebate.
I'm not even going to go there, Mr. Dangler. Stop telling me something that happened 4 years ago.
I have a copy of
Come on,
it.
what's next? What's next? This is not a loan.
The only reason we're here is because...
Did you just hear me?
Okay.
Let's get on to loan, Mr. Dangler.
Computer repair.
Okay. Computer repair. Let's hear the date.
That was in October of '98.
Tell me the story.
Okay, she needed parts to replace a computer that she had that was wore out. And once we got the parts, we had another man work on it to repair it.
So what? That's not a loan.
He voluntarily
Just a
wanted
second,
to do
that's
it.
not a loan, Mr. Dangler. I mean, do you think you're going to go back in the history of your relationship 4 years and tell me every time you spent a penny that you want back?
He will.
No.
I didn't hear anything about a loan. For 4 years you didn't complain, or 2 years or 3 years you didn't complain. Now you're not together anymore, and now you want the money back. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Wrong. That's not a loan. Let's go. Next.
Okay,
This is a relationship.
He doesn't want the money. He just wants to harass me. That's
Listen
all
to
it
me.
is. The issue isn't the money.
Miss Cramlett, so far you're not losing, right?
Okay.
Right?
I'm not
So far-
talking either.
That's my girl. All right, Mr. Dangler, give me the next.
Okay, on November 5th of 1998, she asked if she could borrow money from me to make a house payment on her house. And I says, yes, I would loan it to you under conditions that I would be paid back for this.
Oh, now you're getting the drift of it. You see how he picks up after a bit. How much was that? How much was that payment, sir?
$561.37.
Did he ever give you $561.37 in 1998?
Yes, I recall he did, but he offered to give that to me. And there was an agreement, too, basically, that he has a lawn care service, and I would help him render services for...
How?
As far as, like, doing yard work.
You would actually do the physical yard work?
Yes, trim, whatever, cut bushes.
How often did you do that?
Maybe 10 times, approximately.
Okay, and did
It's
you
been
ever
a long
get paid?
time ago.
Did you ever get paid?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Mr. Dangler, what's next?
When she lived with me, she moved out unannounced. She just packed up and moved out when I was out of town.
Why was that?
And she's...
I'm sorry.
And
I
she
don't care
stuck
why
me
you
for
went there.
utility bills and rent that she owed me for that month.
What do you mean she stuck you with rent? You
Well, when
That's
she
not
lived...
true.
Go ahead. What do you mean
When she
stuck
lived with me, we made it a agreement that her and her son would pay $400 a month plus half the utilities.
And I have
she did.
receipts that I did.
And for that month, she moved
You don't want
out.
to lose, do you, because you have a big mouth?
I'm sorry.
Now, that was in May of 2000.
That's correct.
We're now 2 years later. Can you tell me why you haven't pursued that rent for the pro rata share of her rent for the month of May, if you were roommates?
We only lived together approximately 6 months.
I don't care if you lived together for
And
2 months.
I did ask for these payments to be returned, and they were never returned.
So what I'm asking you, Mr. Dangler, is why did you rest on your laurels for 2 years before pursuing this matter in court?
Because she told me financially she wasn't able to pay me back.
What's next, Mr. Dangler?
March of 2000, we traveled together on a trip to Arizona, and she was if I paid her airfare, she would reimburse me for the airfare. She never reimbursed me for the airfare for that.
Did you have an agreement to reimburse him for any airfare?
No, I did not. And we also stayed at one of my friends' house that we did not have to pay for a motel, and I did pick up as far as expenses for the restaurants and things. There was no discussion about that I would pay.
What's next, Mr. Dangler?
When we were on this vacation in Arizona, her son totaled out his car about a week before that. Okay, when we were on vacation, we got a phone call in Arizona that he totaled out Coney's car. So in a week's time, he totaled 2 cars out.
It wasn't
had
a
2
week's
traffic
time.
accidents.
That's irrelevant anyway. Sorry.
You keep saying I'm sorry.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Roger Dangler says ex-girlfriend Coney Cramblett owes for unpaid loans. Coney says Roger won't let go, and this is another attempt to keep her close.
So now he totaled out 2 cars. Go ahead.
Okay, Coney asked me if I would help him purchase a car, and I loaned him money under consideration that, okay, he would pay me back or she would if he couldn't make payments. Well, I have a payment schedule of money that he did pay on part of the vehicle, but he did not pay the full amount.
How old was he at the time?
19 years old.
He was an adult at the time that you made this loan, which means that you would pursue him first, right?
Okay.
What's next, Mr. Dangler?
After numerous times of trying to contact her for repayment of this, I was harassed. I have phone messages, recorded messages from her son Chase where he was threatening me and harassing me. And I have proof with my daughter, the messages that came to my house that numerous times Coney would call me and she was in a rage and she was making all kinds of accusations and just confusing me that, you know, she still wanted me to be in her life. She still wanted me to be a part of her. I didn't want any part of it because I felt this was over with, and I just wanted the repayment of the money that I loaned to Coney.
You didn't loan her any money, sir. I mean, the only loan that I see of all these loans that you allege is $561.37 that you, in fact, did give her for a house payment that she acknowledges that you gave her. Period. You took up living together. You lived together as a couple. You shared a home. You shared a bedroom. You know, you shared a life together. You went on vacations together. Now, 4 years later, you're coming to court and saying, well, I want all the money that I put into this relationship. I want it back. That doesn't happen. We don't have courts for that. We don't have courts for that. We don't have time for that. Now, on a similar note, Ms. Cramblett, you want to tell me what property you claim that you left behind that's worth $550?
Basically, like, I purchased whatever, a comforter, bedroom ensemble. It was like a makeup mirror, a rock fountain that were gifts, some of them from him. The whole thing was initiated basically like from harassment. I have a police report. He basically is doing this only to get revenge and to see me again. There's no point as far as that he wants the monies.
Ma'am, that is not true.
My son is also a witness, and he also can tell you that this is true.
It's not a part of your complaint. I'm just reading it. How long were you married, Mr. Dangler? Not to the defendant, but how long were you married before?
3 years.
And that was the only marriage that you had?
Yes.
And this is the child of that marriage?
No, it is not.
Of another relationship?
Yes.
That lasted how long?
3 years.
You have a short attention span. This one lasted a little bit longer than that. Put a period. It's finished. It's over. Miss Cramblett bought a comforter. She left a pot. She left a pan. She left a makeup mirror. Stupid. We don't maintain a judicial system to take care of petty, stupid issues. Okay. People are supposed to be adults. If a relationship is over, and everybody has a narrow window of good health and good looks and an opportunity to live life to its fullest, and it seems to me absolutely ludicrous to invest one more minute, one more hour in a relationship that's over. And it seems to me that that's what's happened here, sir. Your relationship lasted a couple of years. It was over. Then there was a time that you were speaking to each other, according to what I read, long distance. Then you find out things that she's got another boyfriend. You get angry. Stupid. It's over. Put a period. Move on to your next relationship. If you spent a couple of bucks, you're not talking about millions of dollars in the scheme of things, sir. Certainly money that you did not miss from 1998 to the year 2002. Your complaint and your counterclaim are dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's a user, and she'll take you for what she can get. She's an alcoholic.
He was stalking me in hotels. He was, whatever, following me around.
I do not have any reason to pursue her.
I finally was kind of scared as far as with my life, and so I did make, whatever, a police report.
It just got to the point where it got out of control.
I'm just glad that it's over, and I hope that he'll finally leave me alone.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Etchells versus James. Step forward, please.
Computer engineer Henry Etchells and his wife Lisa are suing friends of friends, 29-year-old loan officer Dylan James and his wife Michelle for the down payment on a Harley Davidson. Dylan is countersuing for damage to the motorcycle.
Mr. Etchells, you agreed to buy a motorcycle from the defendant for $18,000. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, you gave him at some point $600, and he allowed you to take the motorcycle. He was going to come by with a contract at some point in the future. He was supposed to give him $1,000 down. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You never gave him the $1,000 down, despite the fact that you took the motorcycle.
Correct.
but you did give him $600. At some point, either you decided you didn't want this motorcycle, changed your mind. He came to get the motorcycle. You said you can't have the motorcycle until you give me my $600 back, right? Police were called. He wrote you a check. Stop payment on the check. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want your money back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. James says that you owe him for the 2 months that you had the bike. I don't know about that. And that you also did some damage to the bike. And the reason he stopped payment on the check was because he noticed that there was damage done to the bike when he got it home.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How do you know each other?
He's next door neighbor to one of my friends.
How much money did he give you at the time he actually took physical possession of the bike?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You're not in business, are you?
No, Your Honor.
Why did you take possession of the bike, sir, before you paid for it?
Well, the defendant told me that it needed a bonded title, which I didn't know what that meant. And I found out by doing some research that a bonded title might mean he didn't have a title. And in order to get a bonded title in the state of Arizona, you had to have an inspection done on it, which this bike required a horn, high beam, low switch, and a brake light.
So that's minor stuff.
So
right?
I took,
That's
correct,
minor stuff.
except until you hear prices.
Your Honor, I've got receipts of getting all that repaired and all that stuff done, and it came out to $180.
Yeah, I said, not a lot of money. That doesn't sound like a lot of money. So why did you take the bike?
To do those repairs. Our agreement was that I would handle getting it ready for the inspection to get the bonded title, and he, the defendant, would handle getting the title afterwards.
Okay. How long did it take you to get these things done?
You know, I didn't get them all done. Without seeing a contract, I didn't want to go any further with it.
So why didn't you return the bike?
Just waiting for him to bring a contract.
Where was it?
In my garage.
What did you do to it?
Absolutely nothing. All I did was repair a brake light on it and fix a front brake that didn't work, and that was it.
So you did do some work on it?
Yes.
Your Honor, I've got receipts showing that I had to get that brake light repaired. It wasn't fixed, and it stated on there that it didn't work. They stated on the receipt that it did not work.
What kind of damage do you claim, Mr. James, that he did to the bike while it was in his possession?
When I came over to his house, he was washing the pipes with steel wool, and chrome pipes you cannot do that with, and it left scratches all over the pipes. And this bike was a show bike, spinning magazines. And then I noticed there's a chip in the paint. It looks like maybe he dropped a tool on it or something like that. And then he had taken the gas tank off, where the gas tank goes over the frame. There's chips, and I've got pictures to show that.
I'd like to see them.
They're close-up pictures. I also have, this is before pictures.
Did you take the gas tank off, sir?
No, I did not take it off.
What did you do?
I took 3 bolts out of it, but never finished taking it off.
I thought you said you weren't going to do any work on this bike, sir, until you had a contract.
Well, that's where it stopped, Your Honor.
But you had this motorcycle in your possession for a month and a half. How do I know that you didn't drive it?
I didn't drive it, Your Honor.
How do I know that? How does he know that?
My witnesses were his next
How does he know
neighbors.
that? That you didn't get on it and take a spin around? I mean, that would seem to be sort of normal.
Your Honor, I drove this from his house to my house.
And that's it?
And one other occasion, and the defendant knew about it, I had to get a horn. And I drove it to a shop. I didn't know how much a horn cost, and I let them look at it.
Okay. You have any proof that that's not true?
The only proof I have is that my witnesses had seen him on the motorcycle, heard his neighbors.
I'll step up. Change places with him, please. Tell me your name.
My name is Patrick Campbell. Mr. Etchells did specifically tell me that he drove it to his work and had shown it to some other colleagues that were interested in Harley Davidsons.
Is that true, Mr. Etchells?
Your Honor, that was the same day that I brought it to have the horn checked out. It's right near my work, and I told the defendant that I was driving it to work and I would stop by the motorcycle shop afterwards to
So
find
why
the
did
horn.
you drive it to work for?
That was the only time.
What did you drive it to work for?
I drove it to work because I had to go to work. I drove it to work because the motorcycle shop was right next to my job, and I took it over there to have the horn checked out so I could do it in one.
You drove the bike for your own use You don't get your $600 back. I find it outrageous that you kept the bike for a month and a half before you decided you didn't want it. I mean, I find you as a businessman, sir, a little bit lacking in intelligence because you don't give a valuable piece of property to somebody who's a stranger, who you really don't know, without contract, without some security. So if he used steel wool on your hoodinky, there's no way you're taking care of that unless you replace the whole thing, because I have used steel wool on chrome in my time. It's messy. It's messy. But you take care of that yourself. So, did you sell the motorcycle?
No, Your Honor.
Are you going to keep it?
For a while, yes.
Good. You going to ride it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Enjoy it. That's all. Goodbye.
Parties are excused.